Food chaining is the number one tool that I use to introduce new foods to the families and children with autism that I work with. The reason why, it just makes so much sense and it can be applied to absolutely everything. So the good thing, the helpful, the important, and the reason why we love food chaining is because it takes foods and characteristics of foods that your child already likes and uses those to introduce new foods. So if your child loves sensory foods, you can build on the sensory aspect to introduce new foods. If your child loves really spicy foods, spice is something you'll want to continue into all of the new foods that you start to introduce. So to get to the basics, food chaining starts with a preferred food, so a food that your child already eats regularly and that you know that he or she already likes and will accept without a fuss, will happily accept. What you do next is establish a goal food, a food that you would like your child to eventually eat. It can be helpful if that food relates is somehow similar to the initial food, the preferred food, but if it doesn't, that's okay. This food chain can take you in a bunch of exciting places. What you will do along the way is make one small change to the preferred food by introducing another food. You want to either change the food's texture or its flavor while maintaining either a texture or a flavor. The key is to make the changes so tiny that your child will hopefully accept this new food. It will feel really familiar. And the slow changes over time will lead to something big. So I was just talking with a client yesterday who was telling me that her son really likes pumpkin bread and she would love for him to eat more vegetables, even something like a sweet potato. And that to me was like so easy. Her son also likes oatmeal. So we have a lot of different options here. If he's already eating pumpkin bread, maybe we could just swap the pumpkin bread and go with sweet potato in there instead. Maybe you make one really small change and you just add a little bit of sweet potato to the pumpkin. Eventually you can start introducing things like sweet potato puree, sweet potato, a baked sweet potato. Maybe there are going to be other potatoes, or you get some carrots in and you mix it. So it's slowly, you're making small changes and maybe adjusting the ratio of preferred food and new food until you get to that new food and your child readily accepts it. The reason why oatmeal is a great food, and I was excited about that, is because food chaining also, you can incorporate a small amount of something new into a preferred food like oatmeal. Just a very little bit of sweet potato, a very little bit of milk, something new, anything, a little bit of nuts, just something small in there. And as your child comes to accept that, you'll gradually add something new. So, to recap briefly, food chaining is awesome and it is the key to help your child try new foods. What you want to do is start with a preferred food and eventually end with a goal food. How you'll get there, you're just going to make very small changes to that preferred food. Slowly adjust, either change the texture or the flavor, just one thing at a time until your child eventually likes that new food. Be patient, it can take time. You might have to repeat it with the same foods several times. That's just how it goes. It does work, and it's a really exciting process. And the good thing is that you're not just getting that one goal food in the end, you're getting all of those foods in between. And as your child starts to like many new foods, that just paves the way and makes it easier to introduce other new foods.